Today we are going to prove the quadratic formula. That is the solution of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 are x is equal to minus b plus b square minus 4ac root over 2a and x is equal to minus b minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. As you know that a quadratic equation is having two solutions. So the one solution is this one by the formula and another one is this one. You can prove this formula by completing the square. So let's try to prove it. We have ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we know that for completing the square, the x square must have one coefficient. So we divide this equation by a. So our equation becomes x square plus b over ax plus c over a is equal to 0. So what we have done, we have divided quadratic equation by coefficient of x square. That is a coefficient means the number with the x square is called the coefficient of x square. Now we are having this equation as x square plus bx over a is equal to minus c over a. Now we are going to use our knowledge of completing the square. In completing the square, the coefficient of x is b over a. Again I told you the number with the x is called the coefficient b over a. We divide it by 2. So it will be b over 2a and then we square it. So that is b over 2a square. As you remember that in the method of completing the square, we divide the coefficient of x by 2 and we square it. And the third step is what we do is, now I'm going to add and subtract the same number on both sides. On this side, on the left side, I'm going to add this number. As you remember, we always add this number. So that will be b over 2a square and b over 2a square. So what we did, we add b over 2a square on both sides. So this is step number 1, this is step number 2, this is step number 3 and this is step number 4. That is what we have done so far. Now this number is the x square plus b over ax plus b over 2a square. It will be equal to x plus b over a square. So you must be knowing the formula of x square plus 2xy plus y square is equal to x plus y square. The product of these two multiplied by 2. So now this we can write as b square over 4a square. The square of 2 is 4, is a square minus c over a. So x plus b over 2a square it will be, let's 4a square as LCM. To make this 4a, we have to multiply it by 4 and I have to multiply this by a also. This is a 4 square, this is a 4 square is LCM. So we are having now b square minus 4ac in the numerator. Now let's take the root of both sides. So this is square and the square root, it will cancel each other. So x plus b over 2a will be equal to root b square minus 4ac over the root of 4 is 2 and root of a square is a. And because this is a root, so we will write plus and minus. So now we can write x as minus b over 2a plus minus b square minus 4ac over 2a. Now here we can see that 2a is a common, so we can write x as minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is the most common and most useful formula for finding the solution of a quadratic equation. You can use this formula for any type of a quadratic equation. But one thing, when you use this formula, you have to understand is what is exactly A, what is exactly B, and what is C. A is a coefficient of x square, means the number with x square. B is a coefficient of x, it means it is a number with x, and C is a constant term. It's a number. Don't get confused. I've seen the students, they are easily get confused that they write the first number of equation of a quadratic equation as A, and the second number of a quadratic equation as B, and the third number of quadratic equation as C. This may or may not be true, but this is not you're not supposed to do the reasoning like this. If your quadratic equation is 5x minus 6 plus 3x square is equal to 0. If you are writing this as A, this as B, and this as C, this is wrong. This one is with the x square, so this is A. This one is with the x, so this one is B. and this is the independent, so this one is C. That's how we find A, B and C in a quadratic equation. Now let's solve this question. Solve a quadratic equation. Solve means you have to find the value of x. Quadratic equation x square plus 10x plus 21 using the formula. Now in this equation, there is no coefficient of, it's not written any coefficient of x square, so the coefficient of x square will be 1. The coefficient of x is 10 and the independent is C. So we know very well that A is equal to 1. This is with x square. B is equal to 10 and C is equal to 21. All are positive. So we can write here A is 1, B is 10 and C is equal to 21. Now let's write the formula. So our formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac over 2a. So our x will be minus, what is b here? B is 10, plus minus root b square, that is 10 square, minus 4, a is 1, c is 21, over 2a, 2 and a is 1. So what you have seen in this formula, we have put the b, we have put as 10, b is 10, that is a b square, a is 1, c is 21 and a is 1. That's all we have done in this, and now we are going to solve it. So x will be negative 10 plus minus. First you try to solve whatever is in the bracket. 10 square is 100 minus 21 times 4 is 4 times 1 is 4 and 8. 84, 100 minus 84 over 2. So x will be negative 10 plus minus, you know that 100 minus 84 is 16 over 2. So x will be negative 10 plus minus 4 over 2. Now what we are going to do is, we'll write x as minus 10. Instead of plus minus, first we'll write plus 4 over 2, and we will write x is equal to minus 10 minus 4 over 2. So the value of x will be negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6 over 2, and x will be negative 14 over 2. So x will be negative 3 and x will be negative 7. This is the solution of the equation, quadratic equation, using formula. Now we have to solve this quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. Reason is the highest power of x is 2, or we call it degree. Degree of this equation is 2. Now this is not a standard form, so it is good if we write it in the standard form. So first is the term of x square, so that is 3x square. Then the term of x, this is 6x. If it comes this side, it will become minus 6x, and then minus 23 is equal to 0. Now you can very easily see that if you write this is A, this is B, and this is C, your answer will be wrong. In this, with the x square, this is A, with the x is B, you have to consider the sign also, and C is independent. So now let's use the formula. So x will be minus B plus minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. So let me write this formula in the same way. Minus, I don't write b, plus minus square minus 4 square root over 2. Now this will remain the standard thing. So the first one will be, this is b, this is minus 6, this is b, this is minus 6, 4a is 3, c is minus 23, and a is 3. That's how you have to write numbers. Never get confused that this is already negative, so we don't write negative. You have to write the number here. It's positive 6 or negative 6. So it will be equal to minus and minus plus 6 plus minus negative 6 square is 36. This is minus and minus, so it will be plus, and that is 23 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6, multiplied by 4, that is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24, and that is 27 plus 36. 6 plus 6, 12, 7, 3, 10, 1, 11, 1, carry. So this is 3, 1, 12, that is 276 over 6. So this is 6 plus minus 312 over 6. Now let's say 312. You can use calculator, but you divide it by 2. Let's divide this 3, 4, 5, 2. We can divide it by 3. 3 times 1 is 104, divided by 2. 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 2 is 4, divided by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 2. That is 13. So now we can see that root 312, this 2 is common, and that is 13 times 2 is 26, times 3 is 78. So we can write it as 6 plus minus 2 root 78 over 6. So is equal to, let's cancel 2 throughout. We can cancel 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. So our answer will be 3 plus minus root 78 over 3. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe my channel.